Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something real today. You ever been around a man who acts a little different when he's around you? I'm talking about the kind of different that ain't loud, ain't dramatic, but it's powerful. See, when a man is crazy about you, he don't always come out and say it. Brothers ain't built like that. We don't always step forward with a bouquet and a poem. No, we move in signs, signals, and little psychological tricks that show exactly how we feel. When it comes to men and their feelings, let me tell you something straight. Most men don't walk around announcing their emotions like a loudspeaker. We're not built like that. A man won't come up to you and say, "Hey, I'm falling for you," because that level of vulnerability feels like standing in the middle of traffic without armor. So what does he do instead? He lets it show in the smallest, subtlest things you might not even notice at first, things he's not even consciously doing, because when a man is truly interested, his actions start speaking before his mouth ever does. A man who's into you begins observing you. And I don't mean in some dramatic movie way where he stares at you across the room while soft music plays. No, it's quieter than that, more natural. He watches your habits, your reactions, the way you move when you're excited, the way your eyebrows pull together when you're frustrated. He's gathering this information because he wants to navigate you respectfully. He doesn't want to accidentally offend you or miss something important. So he pays attention like you're a subject he genuinely wants to understand, not because he's trying to manipulate you, but because you matter to him. Then there's the way he opens up his schedule without ever calling it that. He might not say, "I cleared my day for you," but somehow he's available. Somehow he has time. Somehow that man who was always busy ain't so busy anymore. That's not a coincidence. That's interest. Men make time for what they want, and when a man wants you, he starts showing up in places he never showed up before. Not loudly, not dramatically, but consistently. You'll notice small, helpful gestures too. You mention you're tired. He tells you to rest and checks back on you later. You say you like a certain snack. He shows up with it without you asking. You casually talk about something you need. He finds a way to make it easier for you. It's not a grand romantic gesture, but a series of small ones that paint a very clear picture. These little things are his love letters. He may not write poetry, but he delivers care in actions. A man who's interested also pays attention to your mood like it's part of his responsibility. He might not know the right words to comfort you, but he tries. He might not solve your problems, but he wants to be a soft place for you to fall. This is subtle but powerful. When a man cares, your feelings affect his feelings. Your joy lifts him up. Your pain weighs him down. That's emotional investment, even if he's too scared to call it love. And perhaps the most subtle sign of all, he listens. Not the distracted, half-present listening. I mean the kind where he remembers the details you didn't think mattered. He listens because he's trying to understand your world, and a man only does that with a woman who has touched his heart. When it comes to understanding men, let me break it down the way it really works, because men don't always communicate the way you expect. A man who's truly interested doesn't always walk up and announce it. Most of the time, he's scared he'll look foolish, scared he'll get rejected, or scared he'll lose control of his emotions. So instead of putting everything into words, he lets it leak through his actions, his patterns, and the way he carries himself when you're around. You might think he's just being nice, just being polite, but trust me, when a man is crazy about you, every move he makes is deliberate, even if he doesn't realize it. You can see it in his body language before he ever says a word. He might straighten up when you walk in, stand taller, fix his clothes, adjust his posture. He suddenly becomes aware of himself because your presence activates something in him. A man who normally slouches will sit upright like he's interviewing for a job. A man who never pays attention to anything will suddenly notice every detail of you. Your hair, your tone, the way you smile. His eyes keep finding you in the room, even when he tries to pretend they're not. His body turns toward you without him thinking about it. These are not accidents. They are emotional reactions he cannot hide. Then there's the consistency. See, a man can say anything. Words are easy, but a man's consistency, that's the truth. When he's into you, you don't have to beg for attention. You don't have to hunt him down like he disappeared into thin air. He shows up. He texts back. He asks how your day went. He checks on you not because he feels obligated, but because he genuinely wants to know you're okay. A man who's serious doesn't disappear for days and then reappear like nothing happened. No, he makes his presence steady because he wants to build trust with you without even saying it. A man's interest shows in how he reacts when you speak. He leans in, he listens, he remembers what you said days ago. He laughs at your jokes, even when they ain't that funny. He studies your words because he wants to understand your world. Most men don't listen this closely unless they care. They don't ask questions unless they want to be part of your life. They don't pay attention to details unless they feel something real. His subtle gestures also give him away. He'll walk a little closer to you, tilt his head. When you talk, hold eye contact just a second longer than normal. His voice softens. His energy shifts. He becomes protective without even trying. These tiny signs speak louder than any confession he could ever make. When a man is really into you, I'm talking about genuinely, deeply, quietly invested, he might not stand on top of a building shouting your name. Most men don't operate like that. Instead, he lets it show in small ways, soft ways, ways he hopes you'll notice, but is too scared to admit. His feelings start slipping out through the tiny cracks in his behavior. He won't come straight out and say, I'm crazy about you, because saying that feels like risking too much. But his actions, they'll tell on him every single time. You can always spot it first in his body language. A man cannot hide his posture around the woman he wants. He straightens up when you walk in. His chest comes forward, his shoulders square. He suddenly looks more alert, more alive. He leans in closer without thinking. His eyes stay on you a little too long, and the moment you look back at him, he looks away like he got caught. His feet point toward you even when he's pretending not to care. His whole body starts communicating before he ever says a word. And then comes the consistency. Any man can talk. Words are cheap. But a man who is serious, he becomes reliable. You don't have to chase him. He texts back. He calls when he says he will. He checks on you because he genuinely wants to know how you're doing. He remembers what you told him last week and brings it up at the right moment. You're not confused about where you stand because he doesn't leave you guessing. Consistency is his way of saying you matter without saying anything at all. But here's where it gets real. When a man is crazy about you, he starts trying to impress you without making it obvious. He'll dress nicer around you. He'll fix his hair. He'll talk with a little more confidence. He'll tell stories that highlight who he is, not to brag, but to show you he's worth your time. He wants you to see his strengths, not because he's arrogant, but because he cares how you see him. He wants to be respected, admired, and appreciated by the woman he's falling for. Protection kicks in too. A man doesn't protect what he doesn't value. He'll subtly guide you to walk on the inside of the sidewalk, check on you when you get home late, worry when something stresses you. He might not say, "I'm looking out for you," but he does. He becomes softer with you, gentler, more patient. He wants to make sure you're safe, comfortable, and supported. Then he starts prioritizing you. Time is a man's greatest resource, and trust me, he never gives it freely unless he feels something real. Suddenly he's available. Suddenly he's around. Suddenly he's making space in his world. That's love in action, not in words. A man may not tell you he's crazy about you, but when he's serious, every part of him starts showing it: his eyes, his effort, his energy, his presence. When a man is crazy about a woman, he doesn't always come out with a big announcement. See, most men aren't built to expose their feelings like that. We're wired to keep things close, keep things safe, keep emotions tucked in our pockets until we feel brave enough to pull them out. So instead of words, a man tells you how he feels through actions, small ones, quiet ones, subtle ones. You might think he's just being polite or friendly, but trust me, a man's interest leaks out before he ever admits anything. He'll start adjusting things in his behavior without even realizing he's doing it. You can see it in his body language first. A man reacts physically to the woman he wants. He stands taller. He straightens up. He tries to look like somebody worth choosing. His eyes lock on you a second longer than they should. Then he looks away because he doesn't want to get caught staring. He leans in when you talk, even if the room is loud, because it's not the words he's trying to hear. It's the connection he's chasing. His shoulders relax around you. His smile becomes more natural. His energy softens. His body is having a conversation with you that his mouth is too scared to start. Then comes the consistency. A man can be charming for a day, smooth for a moment, sweet for one conversation. But consistency is the truth. When a man is serious, he stops disappearing. He shows up. He checks on you. He listens. He remembers. He doesn't leave you confused or wondering. He makes it clear through his actions that you're someone important. And the best part, he doesn't even know he's doing it half the time. His behavior shifts because you matter to him, and caring changes a man's routine. He also starts trying to impress you, and this right here is instinctive. Men love to be admired by the woman they want. So he puts in effort. He talks a little better, stands a little stronger, works a little harder. He might brag a little too much or show you things he normally wouldn't show anyone. He wants you to notice him, not because he's full of himself, but because he wants to be good enough for you. He wants you to think, that's a man I can depend on. And then comes the protectiveness. A man doesn't protect what he doesn't value. He steps on the outside of the sidewalk when you're walking. He keeps an eye on your surroundings. He makes sure you're safe when you're headed home. He gets worried when something's bothering you. He might act like it's no big deal, but his instincts are speaking louder than his words. It's unconscious, natural, automatic. His heart moves before his mind catches up. These behaviors aren't planned. They aren't scripted. They aren't calculated. They're emotional reflexes. A man who is crazy about you shows it before he even understands what he's feeling. When a man is really crazy about a woman, he doesn't always come out with a big speech. Most men weren't raised to lead with their feelings. We were raised to be tough, to keep things in, to handle everything without showing too much emotion. So when a man starts falling for a woman, his heart doesn't announce it, his behavior does. You'll see it in the smallest shifts, the quiet changes, the little things he does without even realizing he's doing them. And half the time, ladies, you miss these signs because you're looking for something loud and clear. When men communicate in ways that are silent but strong, a man's body language will get him away before he ever opens his mouth. He straightens up when he sees you. His eyes light up before he can hide it. He leans in when you speak, his whole energy turning toward you. He laughs differently when you're around, softer, more genuine. These aren't things he plans. These are reactions he can't control because seeing you does something to him that he can't explain. Then comes the consistency, and this one right here is the golden sign. A man who is not serious will always be inconsistent. But a man who is genuinely interested becomes reliable without even trying. He checks in. He remembers what you say. He follows up. He wants to know how you are. He listens, not to respond, but to understand. And he doesn't do this because he's trying to impress you with words. He does it because caring turns into habit. His attention becomes natural. And oh, the way he tries to impress you, he may not say he likes you, but he'll start upgrading himself. He'll dress sharper around you. He'll fix his hair. He'll tell stories that show his strengths. He wants you to see him as someone capable, someone dependable. When a man wants to win a woman, he steps up, not because he's pretending, but because he wants to show you he's worthy of a place in your world, then the protectiveness kicks in. He walks you to your car. He checks if you reached home safe. He steps in front of you when crossing the street. He watches over you in quiet ways. He's not trying to control you. He's trying to guard what he values. And that instinct is older than any language we speak. And through all this, the funniest part is he doesn't even realize he's doing half of it. His heart is working before his mind catches up. But women sometimes overlook these clues because men don't express love the same way they receive it. Men show it in actions, presence, consistency, protection, and effort, not poetry. A man's love is revealed not in what he says, but in everything he does without thinking. When a man is truly crazy about a woman, he rarely announces it like a movie scene. Men don't wake up saying, "Let me confess my feelings today." No, that's not how we're wired. Most of us grew up learning to keep our emotions locked up, guarded, hidden behind toughness and silence. So when a man starts falling for you, he won't say it outright. Instead, it slips out through the smallest actions, the quietest reactions, the little things he doesn't even realize he's doing. And a lot of women miss these signs because you're waiting for big, dramatic declarations when men communicate through behavior. You'll see the first signs in his subtle actions. He pays attention to the details you didn't think anyone noticed. He remembers the way you take your coffee, the songs you like, the things that upset you. He picks up on your habits, your routines, the tone of your voice. He's studying you, not in a controlling way, but in a caring way, because he wants to know how to move around you without hurting you. He's observing because you matter, and he doesn't want to make the wrong move. Then there's his body language. One of the loudest signals a man sends without speaking, he stands taller when you walk in. His shoulders back, chest forward, trying to look like the best version of himself. His eyes soften when they meet yours. His feet point toward you even when he's talking to someone else. He leans in when you speak, like your voice pulls him in without permission. These signals can't be rehearsed. These are natural reactions to someone who affects him deeply. Consistency follows right behind. A man who is serious about you will not leave you confused. He will not disappear for days, then reappear with excuses. No, his effort becomes steady. He wants to talk to you, hear you, be around you. He checks in not as a task, but as a genuine interest. His messages have meaning. His calls have purpose. He wants to be a part of your day, even if it's just for a moment. His consistency is his confession. As feelings grow, he starts trying to impress you without even meaning to. He'll dress a little nicer, talk a little smoother, try a little harder. He wants to be someone you can respect and admire. He wants to show you he's capable, reliable, and worthy. Men don't upgrade themselves for women they don't care about. That effort is a language of its own. Then the protectiveness arrives, and that one is extremely natural. He makes sure you're safe. He checks if you got home. He stands on the outside of the street. He looks around when you're walking together. He steps in when something feels off. This isn't control. This is instinct. Men protect what they value, and if he's protecting you, you're already in his heart. Most of these behaviors happen unconsciously. He doesn't sit down and plan, let me act in love today. No, his heart starts leading before his mind catches up. And women often overlook these signs because men show love in actions, not speeches. Men don't express in paragraphs. They express in consistency, in presence, in effort, in concern. So if his actions are louder than his words, if he's showing up, paying attention, protecting you, prioritizing you, and changing in small ways because of you, believe it. That man is crazy about you, even if he hasn't said a single sentence about it yet.